I'm Amy, Notes from Past Amy, and if I publish this will be the first video I've recorded and published as a public video. I came up with the name and started my YouTube channel for myself to record and keep notes from past self to future self about this brand new hobby that I was enjoying and had newly discovered. That was in November. I started the channel. I think it was in December. So this was public. This is not my first video, but it's the first video that I've considered making public. So hopefully it doesn't look too much like my first video. I usually record my hands as I'm doing something, a project I'm making, myself refilling pens as I talk about something I've been wondering about, or something new I've discovered, or just anything I want to remember that is important. All this is very important, but I don't want to devote a bunch of space on my device for all of this that can be freely stored and easily accessed on YouTube, as long as you publish it privately. So, yes, I'm coming on with face because I love seeing all of you and the faces that go with the names, both on Instagram and YouTube. And so, face is on here, but I wanted to answer the 8 pen questions tab by Simone and Leanne Likes, and I've seen several others do it. It's so much fun to watch, and everyone's had a face. So here goes. Question 1. When and how did your fountain pen journey begin? Well, I used my first fountain pen 5 months ago today. It was November 14th when they arrived. Actually right here. I don't use them now because the colors are so bright for most of them, and then black's just boring. But they are the Sensations pens, and they all worked really fantastically except the green. The green didn't write, and I haven't really gone back to them. I could probably fix that now, but I ordered these pens for a couple reasons. I had been following bullet journaling things for quite a while, over a year, and found the Zebra brand, mild liners, that kind of thing, and so I was signed up for their newsletter through that. But I visited the site on the sale day because of my son, who is 7. He is very particular about his writing instruments. We have discovered that he likes markers, especially the dot markers, and not pencils, not plain pens, nothing with regular colored ink, blue, black. He likes bright blues, he likes glitter. He owns a bottle of Night Sky Shimmertastic. We gave it to him for Christmas. It's a Diamine ink. So I guess he likes sparkled black. But anything plain, like cartridge black, cartridge blue, he doesn't like anything like that. That's boring ink. We never use that anymore. And like I said, he doesn't like pencils. He didn't like colored pencils, which I always loved as a kid, getting a pack of colored pencils. I still have my pack of colored pencils from like years ago. Not a big fan of red, but you can tell which colors are my favorite. The pink, the purples, the blues. I always loved colored pencils. He didn't love colored pencils even, and it kind of broke my heart. But I was trying to find something that he liked using. So when I saw this fantastic, I think it was a 40% off sale at Zebra Pens, I went over there to try to find something that I thought he would enjoy using for school. He's in 1st grade this year. And I was tired of fighting with him. So I found this really cool pack, oh, they're also right here, of colored pencils, light colored pencils. We've never used them. Look how pristine they look. But they're twists, and I was like, that is super cool. He will love that. No, he has not used them. They are brand new. But they're super cool, and they were on a really good sale. Of course, this by itself didn't qualify for free shipping, so I went looking for something else. Now, when I help him with his school, I enjoy cross stitch, and he calls that stitching. He doesn't like mommy to do stitching when he's doing school. So I attempted what he calls mommy doing yarn. It's knitting. I've had multiple attempts at knitting and crocheting, and it's just not for me. But I was desperate to find something to do while my son was doing his work, and He didn't like mommy doing yarn. I was a little more okay with that because I didn't love doing yarn either. It was best when I would do lettering as well. So in October, I found a free calligraphy course, and I got my first brush, the Funosiki, no, however you pronounce that, the felt tip brush pen, whatever, it's recommended by everyone. And so I got one of those. I took this class. Actually, I already had it because of bullet journaling stuff, but anyway, I did that, and he called that, what did he call that? He thought I was practicing my letters, which it's a new style. I really was practicing letters. He liked that. One, I wasn't extremely good at it when I started. And so it was something I wasn't good at while he was doing his work, which he wasn't particularly good at the beginning either. And he really liked that. So I had one item for free shipping, but I wasn't actually at free shipping yet. So I found these, and that took me to free shipping. These were under $15 for the pack with the sale price. And I'd never used a fountain pen before, but I was done with my class and figured, hey, surely there's some special technique for using a fountain pen. These come in pretty colors. It's a better price than on Amazon. It gets me to free shipping. Like, why not? So those are my two items from the Zebra Pen sale back in October. They finally shipped, and when they arrived, it was mid-November. It was November 14th. We'd been at my mom's house, and we came home, and there was a package on the front porch. I don't know how long it had been there, probably a couple of hours at least, but it was in mid-November. It could have been cold. I don't know. We brought them in, and my son was super excited to see these. Doesn't care about these guys at all, even though I think they're still really super cool. Did not care about them at all, but these, he instantly claimed this side of the pack. These are mommy's. These are mommy's favorite colors. Those are mommy's pens. He got the rest of them. And really nobody was using the green because it didn't work. So the green was kind of our divider pen, and these were instantly his pens. He loved them. So I started watching some videos on YouTube, like how to use these pens, right? After I ordered them, I started watching more videos. And now I have, well, you'll hear how many pens I have later, but I have a lot more than these, and I never use them. It was nice to have these at first. They actually write really well, except for the green one. It's a nice thin line, which I did like, and this pink is super bright. I will never buy pink ink that color, but that's good to know, right? I didn't care about using the red pen. I'm not drawn toward the green pen, also very bright ink. All very helpful things, and I have these for travel or church bag or whatever. They just sit on the shelf, but this was actually a really nice first set, and they are recommended nowhere. I've watched so many beginner pen videos now, they're recommended nowhere. But they're a great first pen, so if you want to give a pack of really brightly colored ink pens, fountain pens, a try, these Sensation pens were actually really, really good. I think they're called Sensation. Now that I look at them, it doesn't say anywhere they're called Sensation pens. They do, it's on my invoice. Zensation, Sensation. I don't see it on the packaging, but there's like an ink window here on the side, and they actually write really, really well. So, very plain, nothing amazing in the appearance, but the ink matches the color of the pen, and they ended up being a really great starting place for us. So there's question one. When and how? I blame it on my son. Number two, favorite inks in the beginning. Well, I'm really in the beginning still. What are my go-to inks now? I have about 24 inks, mostly Diamine. I've been ordering from Colt Pens. I've ordered there a couple of times. And the Diamine 30 ml bottles are like $2.50. So that's mostly what I have. I have Autumn Oak and Ancient Copper for orange/yellow. Of course, I got the free sample of free pack of samples from Goulet Pens, and that came with a couple of reds. Not drawn to reds. I have my son's Sparkle Black. Never use it. I have a brown, Earl Grey. Not really drawn to those, but I did see somebody over the weekend who has a cream Sapphire, which I also have, and they had brown ink in it. So next time I need to ink a pen, I'm going to put brown in it, cream Safari, because that was genius. It just made so much sense to me. I don't know. It just seems like cocoa somehow. Like I should be using it at the end of our winter season. I don't know. It just really struck a chord. So I'm going to be putting some brown in that cream pen. But I have several purples. I have one green, Holly from Diamine. I have a couple of Waterman inks, and I have Carbon Black. And actually one of those Waterman and the Carbon Black were ordered off Amazon before I knew about lots of pen places. Now I know so much more, but in my first couple weeks, I didn't know about Fountain Pen Day, so I missed all that stuff. And since I've been a Black Friday shopper for years, that's what I was looking for. That's when I got several pens. I discovered quilt pens shortly after Thanksgiving. So for the first month or something, I had Carbon Black, Serenity Blue from Amazon, the Waterman one. And then I got my first set of Diamine inks from Amazon because they're about half the price of the pen places I had found, which was probably like 2 shops at that point. It was before I found Goulet pens. It was before I found Pen Chalet and Gold Spot and all these other places. So I only knew of like 2 shops. And they could have been international. I have no idea. I don't remember the first 2 shops it was. But Amazon. I was going to Amazon. I'd heard about people getting pens on eBay. And I found a set of Diamine inks, 6 of the 30 mils, on Amazon for $25. So that's how I have the brown, the gray, Autumn Oak, Syrah, S-Y-R-A-H. I don't think it's a question on here, but if there's an ink that I've been trying to get along with, that's the one. It's been spilled twice. You can't even tell it's been spilled. I've used it a bunch. I've tried adding shimmer to it. I've tried it in different size nibs and all the things, and it's trying too hard to be a pink. It's a red, but it like wants to be a pink, but it's just, we don't get along. Anyway, so that was one of my first inks. I knew I was going to like purples. I love purples. Blues, I'm finding that I really like the aquas and teals, so dark aquas, but leaning blue. I have, those are the other 2 that were in the pack, Aurora Borealis and Twilight. And they're kind of the same color, but one is darker and one's a medium dark. So Aurora Borealis, we get along okay. It's more green than I would like, and then Twilight is much darker. It's kind of like a blue-black, but there's green in it. So those were my first inks. I love purples, and I'm loving the teals / aqua / what's the light version? Aqua? There's like 3 levels of teal that I looked up and wrote down, and I forget what got me onto that trail, but if it leans blue, not green, I like it a whole lot more. I'm not drawn to brown or gray or black. Plain blue, the boring inks, my son calls them. My favorites are probably Robert Oster's Rose Gold Antiqua. Ordered that from Goulet when I found Goulet, as well as Diatramentis Pearlescent Copper Violet. No, Violet Copper, whatever. That's a super ridiculously long name. And I'm also loving Troublemaker Foxglove. I thought that was my last quilt pen color in January. Really cool ink. Really cool. I also love Frosted Orchid, which is a Diamine ink. So I really do like my shimmers. If you noticed, all of those, except Foxglove, are shimmers. Those are probably my top inks right now. But I really love all the like aqua-y blues and purples. I use those a lot. Okay, I talked too long. My phone turned off again. Just a second. Number 3. I need to talk faster. It's only been 14 minutes. Only. Ooh. How have my ink and pen tastes changed over time? Well, you just got my ink spiel. Pens. I started with Sensations, as I explained. And then I found the Jinhao X750. I think it was featured in a lot of collection videos. I watched a ton of collection videos in November, like all the collection videos I could find. And I saw a lot of, in beginner videos, beginner collections, a lot of 750s, X750s, a lot of Metropolitans, a lot of Safaris. And I ordered one of all of those. I ordered a Metropolitan, I ordered a Safari, I ordered, it's on my pen list. From Goulet, I ordered the Sailor 1911 Compass. Don't know why it's called a 1911, but whatever. I ordered a Procyon, Platinum Procyon. These are from Amazon. Most of them that I'm mentioning here. My Kaweco Sport in mint. It's my only pocket pen. I will not be ordering more pocket pens. I got that off Amazon. I got a couple kind of generic ones. One was $3, so how could I pass it up? It's my church pen now. And then longer, one of those really thin pens that's just kind of straight all the way down, just to try it because it was like $10. It's too thin. It's fine. It works okay. It's blue, like blue, and it's just not for me. But it was one of the first things I tried. But I tried a lot of different brands in the beginning. I mentioned the Sailor already. Also from Goulet, I ordered the Diplomat Magnum in prismatic purple. It's adorable. It's a little bit small, but it's my almost only broad. I did order another broad in January with that same Colts Pens order. They had just released the Petrol and Lilac, so I ordered the Petrol and broad. And the Lilac and fine, I think. I tend to use a lot of fines. I don't think that's a question on here, but if I had to default pick a nib size, it would be fine. Or extra fine, depending on how the fine writes, because let's face it, Lamy extra fine is more like a 5. And then still on my Black Friday sales, I ordered a Parker Urban. Amethyst Pearl is gorgeous. Probably a little bit small for my hand, but beautiful. And a Cross Bailey Light in teal. That is small. Way small. It could almost be considered a pocket pen, at least for my hands, but it's super cute. It works great, and it looks pretty fantastic with the teals that kind of lean green that I'm using up, like Aurora Borealis. So that was like my first dozen pens. One of this, one of that, one of the other, and they're kind of all in the, I don't think I paid more than $30 for any of them, so not like newbie range, disposable range, but the next up. So that's where I started. I'm glad I did that and had all those different nib sizes and all those different brands and just kind of tested things out. There's not a pen shop anywhere near me, and so I'm glad I did it that way. Having 2 dozen inks is a little restricting when I'm finding that I like these other colors where I don't really have many options, but it's making me use different colors in the same pen. So I can see how pens handle. I've got a couple of sheeners, about half a dozen shimmers, just the standard ones. Some of them, like the Troublemaker, I think they're maybe a little bit drier. I have a couple of Roar and Klinger. I skipped the other end. However you pronounce that one. I have Cassia and the Iron Gall that leans purple. And the Iron Gall seems to be rather dry. Diamond all seems to be wetter, except Holly. Not Holly. Holly sheens, but I haven't noticed it being a little dry. What was the one that I used that says it has sheen? That wasn't the question. Anyway, what was the question? I started with a lot of different brands. Yeah, so now that I kind of know which nib size I like and what pen size I like, and I don't know that I'm really drawn to any specific nib, I am looking more at pens that are topping out at 100, even if it's with a sale. It can still go up to 100. It doesn't have to be a pen that was valued at 100, because I already have a couple of those, and I didn't pay over 100 for them, even though they're valued at like 150, 175, that kind of thing. So I would do it the same way, even though that wasn't the question. How have your tastes changed over time? This is what I did. It's been only 5 months. I'm happy with what I did, and that's where I am. Hopefully that answered the question. No further comments on number 3. Are there inks and pens you have yet to try, but would like to? Oh yeah, like a ton of stuff. I just ordered inks from the pen company. I don't know. They haven't shipped yet because I ordered one that was out of stock, and so they haven't shipped yet. But I went ahead and finished my rainbow. I don't have a true red. Even though I'm not drawn to it, I might want to use it for Valentine's or for Christmas, or it's $2.50 when you order it with everything else, so just order a small bottle. So that's what I did. And I ordered a yellow because I don't actually have a yellow, and another green because Holly's a little dark. It'd be nice to have another shade of green. couple more purples because, you know, why not? I love purples. Teals that lean blue because I love those. Yeah, there's a ton of inks that I would, sure, yeah, I'll try them. The Sailor inks are gorgeous, but I'm not paying that for an ink. I can't. I would have to buy, you know, like 2 bottles on my order instead of 20 bottles. So I would rather have the color variation than I would have those 2 specific colors. I know they're Sailor, but Diamine's great too. And then I can buy 20 colors, like I said, instead of just 2. So there we go. I've been watching a lot of comparison videos and swatching videos, and I love those of you who show the color and then you compare it with other things you had. Those are so, so helpful. Thank you so much. Yeah, it really struck a chord when, I think it was Sibone said to Leanne that you shouldn't feel like you have to use all of every sample because you've done a great service to the community just by swatching those. It's so true. Thank you so much. So I've watched a lot of videos, and those were very carefully calculated colors that I ordered. I am very happy with those. Those are the inks that I am dying to try because I've ordered them, I'm waiting for them, and orders always take a long time. Even if they come from further down in the States, the 48, then it's going to take a week. So ordering from overseas is going to take at least 2-3 weeks, usually 2 weeks after they ship it, but it could be 3. You never know. And if you order anything from AliExpress, like I have ordered the Jinhao 80, 82, Moonman 800. I would love to get a Leonardo now, Momento Zero. The A1 pens that I was kind of interested in, but wasn't sure about the size or, you know, like, so if I could only get it in black, would I ever actually use it? That kind of thing. So I have a few like that from AliExpress. They're a lot more affordable that way, but it's going to take at least 6 to 7 weeks to get the order. That's just how it is for me. Pens that I would like to try. Aurora, Opus 88, Visconti. I have a Mayora that's gorgeous, another Italian brand. That was my Christmas pen. Really love that one, but other Italian brands I seem to be really drawn. I'm not Italian, I don't think. I made a list the other day, actually, of brands when I first heard this tag. I was like, oh yeah, I would like to try a whole bunch of different brands. Mont Blanc doesn't usually interest me because the pens are black or white. I like colored pens. Yeah, they've all left my brain now. Oh well. Okay, so, Pelikan. I would like to try Pelikan, but I'm afraid that the Pelikan that would fit my hand best is going to be like an 800. So maybe I shouldn't try Pelikan. They're way out of my price range. Even the little baby 200s are over $100. They're more like $200. So yeah, probably not ever going to happen. But it'd be fun to try one and see which size fits my hand. That's what I'm most curious about. I'm guessing it's the 800, if not the 1000. But moving on. What is my holy grail pen? As in the pen that I have seen and always catches my eye and I will probably never own. Well, speaking of Pelikan, the 600 from, I think it was 2019, that had the violet. It was one of those purples. Body with the white ends, white cap and ends. Gorgeous, catches my eye every time. It reminds me of my wedding, and I think that's why. But way over $100. No longer being made. Probably will never own it. Number 6. How many pens do I currently own? Well, if you count all the pens that I got at the very beginning, and all the pens from AliExpress that I have for like referencing and size comparison and testing out the different nibs and things, about 40. If you don't count all those beginner ones that some of them I do use, but if you count the ones like the stick that I don't use, and all the AliExpress pens that I don't use, then it's probably half that. If I'm going to try the size and such, I would do it the same way because I don't have a whole lot of options. Patience is my biggest money saver. It is, and it's worth it just about every time. Do I have a limit on pens or inks in my collection? Well, I have 4 little shelves. I got a spice rack, but it's not a connected one. It's 4 separate shelves, so they have been mounted to my wall above Mommy's table downstairs, and I've still got space for the inks I ordered. That will complete my rainbow. That will complete a whole bunch of different fancy inks that I want to try, because like I said, I've done lots of comparisons, and so now I've got a page in my notebook that's like, this Diamine ink looks remarkably similar to this fancy expensive ink, and I've just got a page of that. So yeah, a whole bunch of inks. I would love to try and just experience and see if they're really different, but I'm gonna go with my dupes because that's what I can do now, and I still enjoy it very, very much. I like inking with different colors to a point. I don't know how much I'll actually use that red, but do I have a limit on inks? Those shelves are kind of my limit on inks. Do I have a limit on pens? Well, when I first started, I got one of those clear drawer units, Amazon. Still takes a week or more, but you know, if you do have Prime, you can sometimes get it within the week, or if you're really lucky, like over a weekend. But usually, just ordering regular Prime can take at least a week still. Sometimes 2, maybe more. So I got one of those clear acrylic drawers, the CQ, if I remember correctly, 3 drawer. They're long, and the depth is so that I can fit my giant pens. Just what fits my hands, is comfortable, but they're all over 5 inches, and so I needed a drawer unit that was more than 5 inches deep, because otherwise I would have had to put my pens this way, and no, I wanted them to go this way. So I have the 3 drawer unit, and then I got another one, but it was a kind of a combo thing. It was a little more expensive, but it came with essentially 2 units, one just like the one I had, and then a long 2 drawer at the bottom, and a half on the top. Those are my Lamy pens, because now I have several Safaris and several All-Stars. Bronze, tourmaline, lilac, petrol, and that dark purpley one, black purple. So I have 5 All-Stars now, and I have pink, cream, strawberry. Yeah, are you surprised I have strawberry? I'm surprised I have strawberry too, but you had to buy the strawberry to get the cream free. And they came with converters, and it was like $25 for both of them, so how could I not? And then, this is so off topic, but now my brain's like, what Safaris do you have? Strawberry, cream, pink. I used pink nose. Oh, and the purple, violet. So 4 and 5. They're about to be evened out. We'll see if I make a video on that. So a limit on pens, well, my limit on Lamy pens, all the pink, purpley, blue ones that I like, and then for everything else, they have to fit in whatever space is left in that unit, because I made my own pen trays. I know you can buy them, and it's like $16 to get a 4-pack, but then you have to pay shipping, and shipping's over $30 to me. And that's like a $50 investment just for trays, and I didn't need that many, and I have no one to share them with, and it just seemed like a very impractical thing to do. So I used cardboard bases that I cut myself, and I used dowels that I made my husband cut for me because I was no good at that, and I made my own bases, covered them in felt, and they look pretty good, and I'm happy with them. They fit, of course, because they're custom made, and there we go. So once that is full, I think I'm gonna have to stop and start moving out some of those reference pens, and ones from the very beginning that I never used, like my stick. I know that's not what it's called, but that's what I call it, the blue stick. Is it a number? Is it a feeling? When do I know I've reached my maximum? All those many words I just told you. And consequently, what would you do if another pen or ink came along? Well, I'm saving space, because, like I said, I'm 5 months in, but I have my eye on Le Bon. I need to try Le Bon. Well, whether I try them or not, probably going to get a Le Bon and another BENU. And my first Colt Pens order, was it like the last day of December, first day of January, I ordered the Celebration BENU pen, and I don't think you can get it anymore. Last I was on their site, I didn't see it, but I got it when they had both fine and medium available, It was 25% off. I had a coupon for another 10% off. I paid $80 for my BENU. And it's a Euphoria. And thanks to all of you lovely people who review pens, I will probably only get BENU Euphorias because they are my size. And where was I going with this story? What was the question? I'm so bad at these videos. I closed it because I was like, oh, that's the last question. What was my question? Oh, what would I do if... Oh, right. Okay. So when that one came along, of course I had room for it. It was like December or like the 1st of January. But that was a really great pen, as well as my Christmas pen, and I have a giant Sequoia that I got early December. And those are all really big pens, but they're a really great size pen. So I'm always on the lookout for big pens like that, like another Euphoria, the Jazz. I think it was Karina loves to play, and she got that for her birthday. That is a much more subdued version of my pen, which is like a bright blue, and it's got these kind of magenta-y colored, sparkly, shiny things, and like a silver glitter that kind of radiates from the middle band, or center band, I think you call it. It is flashy. There's nothing subtle about that pen, but my son really, really likes that pen. And first BENU is great. I put shimmer in it, even though it's a fine, and it's beautiful. But I would also kind of like one that's not quite as flashy. So I think Jazz is really more my my flashiness, even though it's my, Celebrations was my first BENU. I love its name. It is colors I enjoy, but there's nothing subtle about it. Absolutely nothing. It is all flash. So I would like to have another BENU, and I will probably order it from Endless Pens when they finally release that amazing looking purple collab with Nibs and Flourishes. It's 3 different shades of purple. It looks like it's gonna be gorgeous, and I don't have a Leonardo, haven't tried a Leonardo, but it's the same size as the M800, and so I think I would really, really like that. So that's on my list of pens to get, so that's 2. Also, Laban has 2 pens that kind of remind me of the Pelicans, where they're like white cream on the top and the bottom, and then they've got that center section, basically the body. The main part of the body is a color, and they've got it like ocean blue. There's a white one I think maybe they call snow. There's a red, there's a green, there's a purple called Wisteria, and there's a pink called Sakura. I love those, and they're big, so they would fit my hands well. And there you go, 4 pens that I have on my list that I can get for under $100. Yes, I know the Laban 325s are over $100, like at Gold Spot and all those US retailers, but on Colt pens, they're under $100. Depending on the day, they could be 97 or just shy of 98. I think they were like 97 and 96 cents this morning. Yeah, I check them all the time. But a few days ago, they were 95 and change. So you can get them under 100 any given day at Colt pens. So that's what I am looking for there. The BENU is borderline 100, and I have no idea what the purple pen is. It might break all my rules, but I know I'm going to regret it if I don't get it. So I've been saving my pennies. I ordered ink, and then I ordered the new release Lamis the end of January when they were first announced. But I've been really good. The only other thing, and I know this wasn't question 9. The other thing I've ordered this year was nibs. I've been trying to, experience all the different pen sizes, nib sizes, and now I'm going into not standard nibs. Fine and medium are on everything. Extra fine maybe, broad perhaps, stub if you're getting really fancy, and of course nothing is gold at this point. So I've ordered from Fountain Pen Revolution, and I get to play with Flex now. Super fun. Super, super fun. I've got a couple Ultra Flex. Last time they were buy one, get one free. I did not get that sale. But anyway, I got a different sale. And I've got a couple Semi-Flex nibs. I got an Architect. I got a 1.0 stub. Oh, and when I ordered the Petrol and Lilac, I ordered different Lamy nibs. This Lamy was actually on sale when those new All-Stars were released. And so I got a stub 1.1, 1.5, 1.9. I got an A nib, thinking that was Architect. No, it's like the kids' nibs, but it's fantastic. It also has shimmer in it, and it's gorgeous. So I have some different nibs, and that has really expanded my experience. Enhanced my experience. I don't know, whatever word you want to use. But it's a way to use some of those cheaper, like AliExpress and beginner Amazon pens, and of course put them on pen bodies that I like the best. And it's just a great way to try new lettering styles and new grinds. And I've done a little bit of tuning on a couple of my pens. The worst nib I ever got, we'll make that question 10. The worst nib I ever got was my Kavikla Sport. Hands down, the worst nib. It basically didn't write. And I have switched it now. I've tuned it enough that it does okay. And maybe in like a month, I would go back and do a little bit better with that. I was probably afraid to do too much, and so I stopped too early. But again, with that Laban order, not Laban, the Lamy order, with the two pens and all the nibs, it had some exciting stuff in it because Kavikla was also on sale, and so I ordered a nib unit, a calligraphy nib unit, so that I could just switch it out and not worry about that fine nib that came on it and try a bigger calligraphy. And wow, does it write giant. It writes, it's right here. Look at that. It's fun. I hate having to pause and post the pen and make sure the clips so that it's not in the way of my hand, and it's just kind of a pain. And if you hold it so that you're on the tiny stick part of the pen, not where the cap is, and it's a little bit bigger, then it's kind of small, and it's okay. We get along okay, but it's not something I reach for. So having that calligraphy stub on there is really nice. If I want it, I'm probably not going to be writing for long. The camera just cut me off. I tried to catch it before it did that, but I guess it doesn't go to a little over 40 minutes now. It's going to stop me before that, so I'm sorry, abruptly ended. I was basically done. I have nobody to talk pens to, and so I've just added on a couple of not actual questions, but things that I felt like sharing. I think my Zoom's all messed up and all sorts of stuff now, so I'm sorry that it abruptly ended, and who knows what you heard and didn't hear, but I needed to be done anyway. So that's that. Hopefully you enjoyed the 8 questions tag. I know I messed up the name. Plus the additional information that nobody asked for. If I publish this, you'll see it as a public video, and otherwise, well, so I guess this is what you thought 5 minutes into the hobby. How have your tastes changed now? An update would be super interesting, especially like the 1 year mark, since this is kind of a half-year mark, almost, not quite. Yeah, it'd be fun to do this again. Either way, I always end my videos by saying thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.